firmament. Oh, sorry, I was just singing along there. Hopefully my mic's working. Yeah, so the up and down I'm talking about in the title. What did I title this? I titled this Up and Down Are Not Relative. Because they're not. I suppose if you turn the volume up or you turn the hose down or whatever, that could be relative. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the direction up and the direction down. See, people are brainwashed into thinking that they're on a ball and that down is towards the center for everyone. But Davey313 is in the chat, lives in Australia. She's not upside down right now. If she points up to the sky, she's pointing the same direction as me pointing up in the sky here in Minnesota. And here's how you can prove that to yourself. Even if you don't believe that yet, you can prove it to yourself. You don't have to listen to me or something to understand this. I'm just pointing it out. When I point up, the sky is up there. When you point up, the sky is up there. The difference is in a belief. That's all. There's a difference in a belief. Because if you believe that down is towards the center of a ball that you're living on, or a sphere, or whatever, a globe, that's just what you were born believing. But let's think about it. Like, we don't have to be scientists to think about it. We can think about some simple things. What part of Davey3, I'm just using Davey313 in the chat as an example because she lives in Australia. Oh, she lives in Hawaii. I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't know that, Davey313, this whole time. So I'm sorry. But someone living in Australia. If I get in a jet and I fly to Australia, yes, Beck from Oz and Growler live in Australia. If I get in a jet and I fly to Australia, tell me if it's in your mind that I go around a sphere to the upside down of it, or is that something you're imagining only in your mind, and the jet is actually just flying right side up the whole time over a plane? Because I just rode on a jet, and that's what you experience. You gain altitude, and then you fly, and then you go back down. You don't do any of these. I have a video, and I guess I'll play it. I wasn't planning on it, but this has really nothing to do with up and down, but circumnavigation comes into the conversation when we think of, like, if you circumnavigate the globe, you have to do a front flip. And speaking of relative too, like, if something's relative, well, if you're on a globe and you're going to go halfway around the world, you're going to be upside down relative to where you started. That doesn't happen in reality. That's the whole point that any of us flat earthers are trying to make. Think about it. You don't experience the center of the earth or the center of a sphere. You just experience down. Up and down. Very simple. But here's the circumnavigation thing. Just, you'll get a kick out of it. It's only like a minute long, I think. Okay, this is me riding my little bike around the block in my neighborhood. That's what circumnavigation is. But see, in this video, I'm imagining that I'm doing it like Magellan thought he was, you know? I just saw something funny in the chat that Anthony Dickinson said. That's good, Anthony. Okay. Do you guys get the point of this video? Okay, that I don't need to play it anymore. My effed up world YouTube here. If you're not subscribed, why don't you subscribe? Okay. Got another one here for you.
Pip pip and good evening. Alistair Cookie here. Me delighted to welcome you to Monsterpiece Theatre. Tonight, me happy to bring you episode number 793 of Upstairs, Downstairs. And now, upstairs, downstairs. Well, prithee, here am I downstairs. I believe I shall go upstairs. Well, here am I upstairs. I believe I shall go downstairs. Well, here am I downstairs again. I believe I shall go upstairs. Here am I once more upstairs. I believe I shall go downstairs. Well, here I find myself downstairs again. Oh boy, I think I shall go upstairs.
And it continues on like this longer than you'd expect. This is like, yeah, they're just teaching them up and down, but this is how you brainwash kids. Do you guys see how many times they repeat this? Up, down, up, down. But, you know, whatever, that's beside the point. Here, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can do something here. Let me just see if this works. I haven't done this actually. I've never done this on YouTube before. There we go. Cookie flat. This is the Sesame Street, inspired version of my YouTube video. So, yeah, that's what that's all about. Now, I'm going to just get a video playing in the background of some weather, I guess. It'd be kind of boring, but I want to read some verses. And please pay attention to the words above and heaven, like what's on the video right now. Okay? John 3, verse 31. He that cometh... You know what? I'm not going to start there. That's the second page of them. Hold on a minute. Uh-oh. What did I do? I hit the wrong button, guys. I hit the back button. Okay. Let's see. Now I can go... Let me just try this again. Wow. Okay. We'll start in Genesis, because I think it's important. These two words, heaven and above. All right? Genesis 1 verse 20 says, And God said, Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. Okay, so these are just verses that have those two words in them, so the verses themselves aren't necessarily significant to what I'm talking about here, but heaven above, okay, that's what the focus is here. And Isaac, this is Genesis 27:39. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. Genesis 49, verse 25. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breasts and of the womb. Exodus 20, verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Deuteronomy 4, verse 39. Know therefore this day, and consider it in thine heart, that the Lord, he is God in heaven above, and upon the earth beneath there is none else. Okay, Deuteronomy 5, verse 8. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Okay. Joshua 2, verse 11. And as soon as we heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. 1 Kings 8, verse 23. And he said, Lord God of Israel, there is no God like thee, in heaven above, or on earth beneath, who keepest covenant and mercy with thy servants that walk before thee with all their heart. 1 Chronicles 29, verse 11. Thine, O Lord, is the greatness, and the power, and the glory, and the victory, and the majesty, for all that is in the heaven and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O Lord, and thou art exalted as head above all. Psalm 8, verse 1. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above the heavens. Psalm 50, verse 4. He shall call to the heavens from above, and to the earth that he may judge his people. Notice who most of these verses is talking about with those two words in it. Here's Psalm 57, verse 5. Be thou exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth. Psalm 57:11. Be thou exalted, O Lord God, or O God, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth. Same verse. Psalm 78, verse 23. Though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven. Psalm 103, verse 11. For as the heaven is high above the earth, there, right there. For as the heaven is high above the earth, so great is his mercy toward them that fear him. The reason why I'm reading all these verses, guys, is because are you a believer in what this Bible says? Because it's very clear in this Bible that there's an up and a down, and that's the nature of the earth. That isn't because of gravity. That's the nature of the earth, and it's not going towards the center of anything, because the people in Australia, they wouldn't look up to God in heaven if it was upside down. Where would they be looking? They'd say the same about us or about me. Where would those guys think they're looking? I'm looking up above those clouds, right into those clouds, right there. That's where God is, and he's higher too. He's all the way up, the whole sky. But there's evil in the sky, in the blackness, the darkness. That's an abode for evil spirits, imprisoned there. Anyway, Psalm 108, verse 4, for thy mercy is great above the heavens, and thy truth reacheth unto the clouds. Psalm 108, verse 5, be thou exalted, O God, above the heavens, and thy glory above all the earth. Okay, I could keep reading these. There's a lot of them. The next page was, I liked that one that I read at the beginning. He that cometh from above is above all. He that is of the earth is earthly, and speaketh of the earth. He that cometh from heaven is above all. Acts 2, verse 19. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. Okay, so this is why I think it's so important. Heaven is above. I think we all need to understand that. Everyone has an imagination, and we can all fire up our imagination, and we can say, oh, maybe the Earth's a globe, and as you travel, like if you were traveling on your car, you'd actually be driving around this big curve, but you wouldn't notice it. And then when you go all the way back home, you come from the other direction. It's amazing. And they add this little front flip in there because they never do the front flip. The car never does the front flip. The jet never does the front flip. Your boat never does the front flip. Oh, you know what? I'm going to play something here. This is a good one. This is video footage from Wide Awake channel. Whoa, Glowbusters is in here. What's up, Bob? I hope you have your lab coat on. We're talking about directions up and down. This is Wide Awake channel, and this is just a beautiful sunset that he recorded a while back. I know Bob has got a... I don't see Bob's name without it being blue. Something's wrong there. Isn't that weird? It looks wrong. Well, I just am not used to it. Okay. So there's a God that's in heaven above, according to the Bible. So, like, I used to not really think about it, but like, what are they actually doing when they shoot a rocket up at the sky? What are they actually doing? Because of all these verses that we have that says God is looking down from heaven. He's looking down from the sky right onto the surface of the earth. Because heaven is above the earth. Okay, let me, actually, there's another verse here, I think. Okay, Ephesians 4, verse 10. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. You know what? This is an interesting thing. Is what... Okay, I can't explain how God shows you something. I can't. I can't explain it, but I can share what he showed me. That's like all I can do. I can't explain how he shows us something. Well, it's written down. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for all you do, for sure. Oh yeah, and thank you for proving that there's a 15-degree. I'm just kidding. I get a kick out of that. Person without a mask. Nice. I like that name. Yeah, trying to crack the firmament. Now, I just got to share this. This is not widely believed, I don't think. Look at that sunset. But I have to share this, okay? They don't have to crack the firmament. It has windows. And I'm not even kidding. And let me just Google something here. Okay, let's just check out something about re-entry. 40 degrees. Could write a song about this. 40 degrees, or you'll burn right up. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I guess it says the angle of re-entry for the shuttle was 40 degrees. Someone write Anthony, can you write a song about that? That'd be great, if you would. Yeah, that's it. That is a great name. I like that. Hey, Karen and Preston's in here too, and Paul Levi, Roderick, and Davey 313. Man, you guys are awesome. Isn't that a cool sunset? That was the Wide Awake channel. That guy has so much good footage. Karen, calm down. Roderick, I'm calm also. I've seen that a few times now, and I'm just going to assume that you guys have an inside joke going on. And it's even funny to outsiders like me. Okay, so re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, there is, for Dragon, for SpaceX Dragon, there's a 6-minute loss of communication, like a blackout. Where are they then? Oh, it's because plasma surrounds the vehicle. Okay. Where are they coming from? Are they coming from up, or are they coming from down, or what are they? Where are they going? They're going down from up, right? They're coming from the sky. That's not right. That's not right. I looked out the window not the window, I was in the garage, and I opened the garage door and I went out the back, and I was like, I seen like a big airplane. I couldn't hear it or anything. It was really far away, but I seen it way up in the sky with its flashing lights going across the sky, like that boat right there. Oh wait, that boat's probably on a different, I'm looking at the wrong screen. So we're watching that sunset again, I guess. Bob, there's a thing you said a long time ago, and I don't remember the video. I think you said it on Glowbusters, but I think it was a video that maybe someone made or something, and it was, you were saying about flat Earth and what it changes, and it doesn't have to change, or it doesn't change that you still have to go to work or whatever. It was like a kind of like not a speech, but it was just part of the show, I think. But I'm gonna have to find that sometime, because that was like, it stuck in my brain so hardcore, the things you were saying in there. And like you were saying, all the governments are in on this together. And it's so weird to me to understand it that way, and then to look at the way I'm looking at it right now, or for the last year or so, as far as like who's doing the lying and what that's, like my understanding from what I get in the scriptures is, from what I'm reading in the scriptures, is that there isn't a person on the earth that understands that there's a lie being told. Not a Jesuit, not a Freemason, not a Rockefeller, not a George Soros, not any one of them. And I know there's a lot of wickedness in the world. There's a lot of, not the Masons either. Not the UN, not anybody that has blood in their veins. This is what's kind of intimidating to me, because there's verses that say, they go as far as making me think that possibly some of these astronauts themselves, the ones that actually say they go there, so whatever, 500 and something of them, they might not even be astronauts. They might have flesh and blood, but and so that's kind of where a monkey wrench gets thrown in my understanding, because we're not struggling against flesh and blood. And what Enoch said just blows my mind about all these things, that the stars, the order of the stars would be concealed from the sinners at the end, and they would err concerning the order of the stars. They wouldn't have a clue about what the stars were, the sinners. And the moon would be light to the righteous and darkness to the sinners. Like, I'm just saying, some of these things are like current topics of interest in the flat earth community. The moon is a light. Why are we saying that? Because it's a light. But we didn't know that before. So there's a truth coming from another realm. It's not coming. This is the whole spiritual warfare that I see happening. The truth. Oh yeah, Roderick, you're right. I'm not saying that men aren't wicked. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that every single one of us has I don't know, a spirit or whatever you call it, our soul or whatever. And it is an eternal thing, I think. Unless it's like, I don't know the future, but it seems to me that while we're here on this earth, in the time that we're in, is that everyone that was born in this generation, or that we're living in, or whatever, the time we're living in, was born believing one of the most complex, well, it is the most complex lie that's ever been told and that's ever been believed by a whole world of people. So yeah, we're all included in this. And Roderick, it says, he says, yes, spiritual wickedness influences. But think about this. What the Greek says there, it says cosmic powers of evil in the heavenly realm. That's in the sky, guys. Think about it. And I mean, there's a lot of scriptures, and this is also not widely believed, but Sheol, hell, lots of names for it. Outer darkness. It's got so many names. But there's waters, these dark waters that nobody believes in except pretty much the flat earthers, that are above the earth. That's where that sun is. It's in those waters. Okay? And the moon's in those dark waters. It's called the firmament. There's waters above it. And there's dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. That's actually God's secret place. And so I see a city there that's going to come down out of heaven from God. Because John saw that happen in Revelation. He saw the end of everything, and he saw that happen. I believe it. And let me try to say something here. Why is it important where heaven is? Why does it even matter? Because that's where all the angels and all the heavenly hosts and God, his throne, his son at his right hand, that's where all of that is. All of that is in the sky. That's why it's important what's in the sky. And if we look up to the sky and we see 7 planets and think they're a place to go, the devil's done his job. And he is... this is why people are always like, "That's not a salvation issue." Or I see people talking like this all the time. And I'm going, these people don't understand the time that we're in. In the time that we're in, the whole world believed a lie. Everybody. Me, you, Bob, Anthony, Doc Michael, Captain Caveman, everybody did. We were born in it. And those planets, it's a secret, guys. It's a secret that's been hidden since the foundation of the world. It was hidden on the 4th day of creation. And people are like, what are you talking about? What was hidden? What secret are you talking about? Well, it's revealed by Enoch. And it's this. It's in Enoch chapter 18 and 21. So, and chapter 67, those dark waters get lit on fire or whatever. They ignite. They become a fire which burns forever. Waters. So it's a lake of eternal fire. It's a real thing. Okay, so let's think about up and down when it comes to fire. Okay? This is just a side note. But fire, we're watching this. Let me grab a different video. Okay, so what happens to heat versus cold as far as the directions that it goes. Okay, we're talking about up and down. What happens, what does heat do and what does cold do if there's hot and cold? Heat rises, right? Okay, well, we can pretend that we're all cool and we can pretend that we have this all figured out and we can go with the science explanation, right? There we go. There's a different video. But I'm not interested in the science. I'm interested in what the Holy Spirit teaches and what the things that Enoch was shown, and that's what I'm interested in. Like, it's way more interesting. Way more. So this lake of fire, Enoch saw it. And he said, you know what? The angels, they returned, and they were ascending and descending. This is in chapter 67 of Enoch. And when they were ascending or descending, whatever, it changes the temperature of those waters, and they become a fire which burns forever. What does that mean? Okay. So then, what is flat Earth? Well, let's check a few scriptures just off the top of my head. Jesus did say that the city of his God would come out of the sky, right? And then he showed it to John, right? And there's New Jerusalem, and John saw up on Mount Zion, like Mount Zion, New Jerusalem. That's all up in the sky, right? So, and then Joe's saying that those dark waters are not, there's evil in those dark waters, in the firmament. Evil in the firmament, yes. Evil in the firmament. I'm trying to think of, well, there's a lot of, here's Jude verse 13 talks about raging waves of the sea, and it's talking about waters above, because it talks about wandering stars that are reserved until judgment in the blackness of darkness forever. That's in the firmament where the stars are. It's called planets. Planets are this secret. So Paul said this secret, that it was his gospel was based on all of this information, because Paul already knew it. Whoa, just knocked my headphones off. Paul already knew. Sorry, I gotta plug these back in. Paul already knew back when Jesus appeared to him, or not appeared to him, but a light shone at him, and Jesus talked to him and said, "Why do you persecute me?" Ever since that moment, or whenever it was that Paul was taken up into heaven, from that point on, Paul knew things that he couldn't even repeat on the earth. Like, what did it say? It was words that were unlawful to be spoken on the earth. They could not be spoken on the earth. So he knew things that we're learning now. And actually, let me just read. You'll understand maybe better what I'm talking about if I read Romans 16, a couple verses. The last 3 verses in the book of Romans. It gives us a good idea of what Paul knew. Because there was this mystery or this secret, and Paul knew it, and he said his gospel was, I'll just read it to you. "Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Jesus Christ, according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting God, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. To God only wise be glory through Jesus Christ forever. Amen." Paul knew a mystery, and now we're learning it, you guys. That's pretty cool, I think. But so back to up and down. Okay, so what direction did the Tower of Babel go? Up, right? What does Lucifer say in his heart that he's gonna do? He's gonna ascend into heaven. That means up. That's what that word means, to go up. He's gonna exalt his throne above the stars of God. Above the stars of God. Hey, thank you, Mike Beck. Psalm 18:11, he made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. So, those waters, the angels are imprisoned there. And this is said a couple times. Actually, let me find a video. I just want to show you guys it's not me coming up with these ideas that, about hell being moved. Hell being moved from beneath to above. Because that's a lot of these prophets wrote about that. Isaiah 14 verse 9 is a verse to look up if you're thinking. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. If you're thinking that I'm making it up or something, that verse says, "Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming." And I don't really remember where I have this. Let's see. Oh yeah, it should be in here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here we go. Space is hell. I got a lot of videos on it, you guys. Don't believe me, believe the prophets. I guess I've expressed this before. We'll watch that. It's not very long. Whoops.
The heavens, and thou
Whoops, sorry.
go forth and descend through all the heavens, and thou wilt descend to the firmament, and that world, to the angel in Sheol thou wilt descend. Heavens, and thou wilt descend to the firmament, and that world, to the angel in Sheol thou wilt descend. Heavens, and thou wilt descend to the firmament, and that world, to the angel in Sheol thou wilt descend. And we ascended to the firmament, I and he. And there I saw Samael and his hosts, and there was great fighting therein, and the angels of Satan were envying one another.
So in the firmament was Samuel and his hosts, and the angels of Satan were fighting and envying with one another. In the firmament. There's more.
And we ascended to the firmament, I and he, and there I saw Samael and his hosts, and there was great fighting therein, and the angels of Satan were envying one another.
Thank you, Roderick. I just realized I had my mic off for a second there. So, basically, he's saying that he ascended to the firmament, and he saw angels fighting there. Satan's angels fighting there.
Firmament, and that world, to the angel in Sheol thou wilt descend. And we ascended to the firmament, I and he, and there I saw Samael and his hosts, and there was great fighting therein, and the angels of Satan were envying one another. And we ascended to the firmament, I and he, and there I saw Samael and his hosts, and there was great fighting therein, and the angels of Satan were envying one another.
For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment.
Oh, I gotta help my bro out there, Anthony. It looks like I see Davey said there's only one book of Ezra, which there's not. There's more than one. Second Esdras used to be in the KJV Bible. Because actually I know that because Anthony actually bought me a KJV 1611 Bible. I have it. And it's got Second Esdras in it. So I think it's called Fourth Ezra. So I don't know if there's other books, but for sure Ezra wrote another. Ezra had. Davey, you would love that book, Second Esdras. That's one of my favorite books that I've ever read. Actually, one of my favorite. There's so much meaningful things in there that Ezra has shown and told, and he's shown Jesus carving out a mountain up in the and flying up to it, Mount Zion, and he carved it out without hands, and he called a peaceful multitude up to him, and many of them came, but they were bound, and some were. It's what I see happening right now. Like I see people coming. Oh, it was when they heard his voice that they melted like wax by the flame or whatever. But I think that's what's happening. When you see what happens to someone when they realize about flat Earth, when they realize, whoa, that we've been lied to, and this, when they start thinking about what that means, it's a very special time for each person that realizes it. It's like the most special time to realize some of these things. So that's why we're all out here trying to get you guys to understand that there's more to this life and there's more to this world than what we've all been believing.
And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains unto darkness, unto the judgment of the great day. He hath reserved in everlasting chains. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains unto darkness, unto the judgment of the great day.
But cast them down to hell.
Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame. Wandering stars, wandering stars, to whom is...
Mike Beck points out a very important thing that I think most flat earth or biblical cosmology believers haven't really thought about very much. But there is light and there's darkness. Jesus said, and this is the condemnation, that that light came into the world and they loved darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. So now I know that we could be talking, well, darkness can be something, it can be literal or it can be figurative. Yeah, true. But in the beginning, Mike Beck says, God is light. He enrobed himself in dark waters to set up the conditions for his creation. And darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. That's the second verse, Genesis 1, verse 2. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And that word deep there is a deep sea, abyss. That's what that word is. So there was darkness upon the face of an abyss called the deep. And then God said, let there be light. So obviously the earth was in darkness. The firmament didn't have light at first, did it? No. See, well, the first thing he said was, let there be light. And there was light, and he saw that it was good, and he divided the light from the darkness. So I'm not saying we all can understand that. because I don't think any of us do understand that. But these angels are all bound in darkness. Where's darkness? Like actual, literal. Where do we observe darkness?
Is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. And the blackness of darkness forever. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever.
And the entire law of the stars will be closed to the sinners, and the thoughts of those who dwell upon the earth will go astray over them, and they will turn from all their ways and will go astray, and will think them gods.
Wandering stars.
And I saw a burning fire in what was in all the mountains, and I saw a place there beyond the great earth. There the waters gathered together, and I saw a deep chasm of the earth with pillars of heavenly fire, and I saw among them fiery pillars of heaven, which were falling, and as regards both height and depth they were immeasurable.
But cast them down to hell.
And beyond this chasm I saw a place, and it had neither the sky above it, nor the foundation of earth below it. There was no water on it, and no birds, but it was a desert place. And a terrible thing I saw there, 7 stars, like great burning mountains.
Wandering stars.
And like a spirit questioning me, the angel said, "This is the place of the end of heaven and earth. This is the prison for the stars of heaven and the host of heaven. And the stars which roll over the fire, these are the ones which transgress the command of the Lord."
Wandering stars.
From the beginning of their rising, because they did not come out at their proper times. And he was angry with them, and bound them until the time of the consummation of their sin, in the year of mystery. And Uriel said to me, "The spirits of the angels who were promiscuous with women will stand here."
Blackness of darkness.
And they, assuming many forms,
wandering stars,
made men unclean, and will lead men astray, so that they sacrifice to demons as gods.
Wandering stars.
And they will stand there until the great judgment, on which they will be judged, so that an end will be made of them.
So, there's a controversial 8th wandering star up in that blackness of darkness. What was that verse? There's a verse I'm trying to think of. Okay, let's go back to this video for a little while. There's the moon. There's the moon. There's a solar eclipse. Do you guys want to see my solar eclipse footage? Let's do it. Let's watch it. Here's another couple things about up and down as I grab this solar eclipse video. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower. Do you guys remember that? You remember that. Let's see here. I have way too many videos to look through. Solar eclipse. I don't even know if I have just the video of it. I should, but... Oh, here we go. Is this the right one? No, it's only 42 seconds. Well, this might be close enough. This is my footage anyway. I don't know which footage it is. Here we go. There, that's what my Nikon P900 picked up. Pretty cool. I just like watching it because I didn't expect to see this. I was like, whoa, cool. So the things that are in the sky, I don't believe them to be physical the way we understand the reality. It's celestial. It's heavenly. It is part of heaven. All the stuff up in the sky. So anyway, let's see here. I think I got, well, there's this.
Up. Down.
Up,
Down.
up,
Down.
up,
Down.
up,
Down.
Fail.
Down.
Yeah, that was awesome to have Bob drop by tonight. I love that guy. So yeah, this is whatever Pixar, I think. Do you guys want to hear? I think that's about it. Really, like I could go to Let Us Go Down and confound their language that they may not understand one another's speech. There's an up and a down in the Bible, and it's very important, I think. Yes, Doc Michael says the greater and lesser lights. Two great lights. So let's see here. It's what do we got warning for? Copyrighted. Oh, they didn't like the Pixar? They didn't like the Pixar. This will be blocked. Whoa, I hit the wrong button there. I hope that doesn't screw this up. That might screw it up. Maybe it didn't screw it up? Wow. I hope you guys are still there. I gotta get this off the screen, like, fast. I don't know what's going on. Here, let's listen to this song again.
Oh, stop and see ya.